Where all my Billy Clinton at? Marching for the days of fashion, tuning from day to day. Wondering what Billy doing next. Fashion money, stacks and stacks. Go get y'all go, y'all back and stay 37. Day 37, day 37. 37. Oh, the music ended. My bad. Every day we're getting closer and closer to day 40, guys. Can y'all believe that? Because I can't believe. Actually, I can because we just been working so hard, guys. We just been working so hard to get to where we need to be at to get to day 40, guys. We've been putting out content every day, guys, for 37 days straight. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let's begin. So, the topic of today's conversation will be synthetic fibers. We are very familiar with synthetic fibers. We know what health hazards they pose. We know what they do, but we kind of don't necessarily know why they exist in the first place. So first off, how are they made? Synthetic fibers simply are made by producing the polymers and petrochemicals, taking those, putting them through a spinneret, which is a tool with several holes in it, that on the other side, it produces these fiber-like structures, which are ultimately knitted together or woven together to create the fabrics that we know. Some of these fabrics include polyesters, acrylic, nylon, and elastane. Each of these fabrics have certain properties that derive from natural ones. So yes, synthetic fibers were made to mimic the behaviors and qualities of natural fibers. Sometimes natural fibers are not easily accessible because they are so expensive or they just take a long time to harvest and grow. So for that reason, they take the substitutes, i.e. synthetic fibers, and we use those to produce it at a cheaper price and sell it for an even cheaper price for consumers to wear and use. You're like, okay, well, that should be good. People are saving money. The companies and manufacturers are saving money. They're like still able to make clothes and make money from doing it. But it poses a lot of hazards. See, when we discard these items and we put them in these landfills, they are just sitting there. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to degrade like a natural fiber. They're not going to just start to tear up and break down like natural fibers. Those fibers, the synthetic fibers, have to be broken down first. And that takes years to do. That takes tens of years to do, actually. So all the while, it's just sitting there in the landfill. It's producing all these byproducts. And the byproducts are also what affects our health. And as we're wearing these items, every time we wash them and we absorb the petrochemicals into our skin, you know, the skin is permeable. So almost practically everything that's placed on it, the skin absorbs. So the petrochemicals found in these synthetic fibers that we wear, they get into our skin and they ultimately affect our hormones because the little molecules bind to the inhibitors in our bodies where hormones will go, like natural hormones will go. And these are called, that makes the fibers or the little chemicals, the little molecules of them called endocrine disruptors. And this is, of course, not a good thing because your brain cannot properly send or receive signals because the fiber has started to mimic the way the hormones act. And that's not good, guys. That is not good. Okay? Your brain's sitting here like, oh yeah, man, I just sent that message. You're like, no, you didn't. Like, yeah, I just sent that message. No, you did not. But I just sent that message. That's why we got to be more mindful of what we put on our bodies, in our bodies, inside of our skin, inside of our eyes and stuff, man. But for real, that's why we have to be really, really vigilant of what we are consuming and consuming also includes wearing. The first synthetic fiber to ever be created was nylon. And nylon was created to mimic cotton. So a little bit of backstory about cotton. So back in the day when nylon started, like right before nylon was created and cotton was being widely used, cotton was a very tedious fiber to harvest, because when people were harvesting, they're picking out the cotton, but they're also like getting like these like sharp bolts, and they will hurt themselves getting that cotton. So this was all before the cotton gin, by the way. And they were like, okay, we need something that mimics the behavior of this cotton, that matches the softness of it, and kind of just substitutes the need for cotton and just make it less harmful for harvesters, people who are going out and hurting themselves to get this, to have access to cotton. After that, nylon was created. Nylon birthed the creation of other synthetic fibers such as polyester. Synthetic fibers are significant to the fashion industry because they are more common than natural fibers. They're widely used. We see it a lot more often than almost practically even more than we see other natural fibers. Like, we see a lot of cotton, of course, but we mainly just see polyester. I hope y'all learned a little bit about synthetic fibers, where they originate, why they were put into existence, and trying to hopefully advocate for more sustainable fashion. There's plenty of things, plenty of other substitutes we can use besides just remaking new synthetic fibers. We can recycle, but synthetic fibers already exist. We could just, if they're 100% of a fiber in like a shirt, for example, just take those threads out, reweave or re-knit them, and create something new, a new product, a new garment, whatever the case may be. Because we don't need to keep, if you think about it, we waste a lot of money. Okay? We waste a lot of money making the same thing over and over again, using the same thing over and over again. Like, that's what I'm talking about when we talked about pre-consumer waste. There's so much of waste being produced before it even gets to the consumer. If we think about it, heck, most of it is from pre-consumer waste. Like, post-consumer waste, that's just, they just threw it away. Okay, but if the waste just accumulated from people throwing away clothes because they no longer want them, no longer need them, can't fit it, whatever the case may be, it wouldn't even be as big of an issue as it is now. So we just gotta work better and be better at what we consume, what we wear, and how things are made. We gotta make it better so they can last longer and not have to be thrown away into the environment and harming other organisms, okay, including us. So I thank y'all for watching, and come back for day 38.